I think that she is just absolutely special to all of us. First, the Davises, Marguerite Davis and Governor Westmoreland Davis, were the last private owners of Morton Park. They lived here from 1903 to 1942, and they made Morton Park, their community, their home. When the governor died in 1942, Marguerite just couldn't live here without him. So what she did is she left and she went to go live in some of her other properties. But she was returned upon her death in 1963 to be here with her husband, Westmoreland Davis, and his mother, Annie Davis. So they are all here. So hopefully, hi, welcome, come on in. So they are all here, and again, she was returned home. Marguerite Davis is very ever present across this whole property, and I think my whole team, we all know this. And she is one of the most favorite people that I never had the opportunity to meet. And I'm regretful that I didn't get to know her, but I think she's just one of my favorite people. And the reason being is that it was Marguerite Davis who was very, very smart and a very big visionary. It was her. She was the one that set up the Westmoreland Davis Memorial Foundation, which is the nonprofit that owns and operates Morton Park. And she did this to obviously honor her husband's legacy, but she was also smart enough and a visionary enough to know that we would not be standing here in this environment if she had not set up this foundation to preserve and protect Morton Park and to keep this private park open to the public. So it's because of Marguerite that we are still here today. I can pretty much guarantee that we would not be here today if she was not born 156 years ago. Additionally, Marguerite was fiercely loyal to her community and to the state of Virginia. When she was First Lady, the governor, they were down in Richmond from 1918 to 1922. And that was really trying and challenging times. We were in the First World War, and then also the last 100-year pandemic hit Richmond really, really hard. And so the governor had a lot of things that he needed to navigate during his leadership. And she was right there by his side. However, she was a leader in her own right, in that she believed that all women in the state of Virginia needed to do war work. And so what she did is she volunteered as First Lady to be the president of the Women's Munition Reserve. And basically what she did is she gathered women across the state and she had them sew little silk pockets and stuffed them with smokeless gunpowder to then be shipped overseas and to be used in the war. And interestingly enough, when the war was still going on, again, I mentioned earlier, the last 100-year pandemic hit Richmond and hit Richmond really hard. So what she did is she delegated those munitions duties to other women. And what she did is she volunteered as a Red Cross nurse at the time, in a makeshift hospital right inside of Richmond, and on the influenza floor. Okay, so modern day, after what we just went through a couple years ago, that would mean the COVID floor at a hospital that was set up in one of our local schools. Okay, First Lady, she did that. She was fearless. Marguerite also did not vote for her husband when her husband was elected. In fact, his campaign ran in 1917. But as soon as the 19th Amendment was passed, Marguerite signed up and registered to vote because she felt that her voice mattered. And that is the cornerstone belief of what we do at our Morton Park Center for Civic Impact. We go out and we give our civics lessons and these free civics lessons to K-12 Loudoun County students with the first thing stating that we know that they need to know that their voice matters. So that was kind of an inspiration from Marguerite. Additionally, Marguerite, these beautiful boxwood gardens. Marguerite lovingly put this whole garden together. But what some don't know is that she was also, back in the day, an entrepreneur and a small business owner because she sold clippings of her boxwood gardens, of her boxwood clippings. So again, she was a small business owner here working out of Morton Park, which is kind of fun and impressive. Additionally, her home. most people with her wealth would hire buyers who would go out and they would, furnish their homes, and they wouldn't have to be bothered with it, and everything would be perfect. Not Marguerite. She was a worldly traveler. And what she did is she traveled the world and she bought things that she just absolutely liked and adored, and she furnished her home. So for those of you who have not taken a Davis Mansion tour, I highly recommend that you do, because you will see her very eclectic style throughout the house, and it really is quite fascinating. So I know that my team's nodding, you all think that. So again, and then I think last but not least is that I just kind of want to bring up is that she was an avid equestrian along with her husband, Westmoreland Davis. And they, and again, that was the inspiration for our international equestrian center, which is located across the property. So again, their spirit kind of lives alive in our equestrian center. But something that, when I talk about fearless and when I talk about talented and all of that, something really unique about Marguerite, I think, and brave, is that she spent most of her life riding side saddle well into her late adult years. So again, think about that. And it wasn't just trotting through the land, she was competing, she was jumping jumps, she was going fast and furious. So again, just a major rock star. So those are just a few of the reasons why I think Marguerite is just an exceptional and extraordinary person, and why she's one of my favorite people that I never got to meet. But again, I just, I don't want to give away all of my stories, because again, we're going to be making this an annual event. But I do want to kind of bring your attention over to this flower display, and I want to caveat that by saying that Jana Shafagos is our Director of Preservation and History, and Jana is the one who set this whole thing up. Unfortunately, Jana is at home because she is sick, but Jana lovingly put together this flower arrangement and picked out the flowers in it, and for a couple reasons. So I'm going to hopefully do her justice to be able to explain this all to you. But Marguerite in French means daisy. So that's why you see all the daisies here. The pink carnations that are here, a lot of times today we kind of think, pink carnations, right? But back in Marguerite's time, pink carnations represented the love and the friendship of the person that you are never going to forget, okay? And when Marguerite was leaving, when the governor was done with his term, the staff at the governor's mansion presented Marguerite with a bouquet of pink carnations. She was loved, and she was never going to be forgotten by them. And last but not least, the roses here represent friendship, represent appreciation, and also admiration, which I know my whole team, and I think I've got some trustees here too, that know this is how we feel about Marguerite. So I think it's only fitting now that I have shared all of this with you, and since I have invited you, or we have invited you to a birthday party, that we all sing happy birthday to Marguerite. So everybody ready? 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Marguerite. Happy birthday to you.
Everyone, we are concluding this hot, sunny part of the event, but we are welcoming you back up to the visitor center where we have cake to celebrate Marguerite's birthday. So thank you all for coming out today, and again, this is going to be an annual thing, so thank you for being here for our inaugural event.